It is a windy day out here in Idaho, and we got weather coming in tomorrow and pretty much all of next week. So I went down to Sportsman's and I got myself a new Nomad jacket. Never used these guys before. I don't really know a whole lot about the brand, honestly. It looks like it's pretty quality. Should be. Price tag is $300 on it. So it is their camo wader jacket. I'm gonna put this thing through the test this week and see how I like it. It does, one thing I do really like, it does have a zip out liner with Primaloft in it, so I can use the shell without the liner if I need to. So we'll see how that works out. All right, I'll let you know. Got the Nomad wader jacket on. So far it's doing pretty good. This isn't the hardest that it's been snowing today. We had some rain, snow early this morning. It looked like we were driving through the twilight zone. But so far it's keeping me fairly warm. And if you hike in it, you get hot fast. It really holds in the heat. But, it's definitely the outer layer, but the inner jacket's pretty nice. I like wearing that just as a standalone. It's got its own pockets. So, we did get onto some elk earlier, but we missed. So, the visibility's down. Probably about 3/4 of a mile right now with snow. And, so this is my first time really just sitting out away from the truck with this jacket on. And, we'll see how this does. We'll see how long the snow lasts. Well, let's talk about the liner here for a minute. I've been wearing this thing for a few weeks, and the only issue that I've found with it so far is right down here on the cuffs. That material has come loose. But other than that, it's been pretty good. I like the fit of it. I like the look of it. It's a little bit on the shorter side. My hoodie kind of sticks out the bottom, which kind of sucks because when you're leaning over, you're getting air in the back. The pockets are pretty nice. There's, I'm trying to think of the name of it. Anyways, it's got the little things on there with the pull string where you can tighten it up if you need to around the bottom. And then it's got an elastic band in there. And on this side, which would be the right side, there's kind of a coin pocket in here. I don't know if you can kind of see it. I keep putting my hand in it instead of in the big pocket, but I feel like they're fleece lined, some kind of a softer material. Anyways, it's nice for keeping your hands warm. But it's a lighter weight Primaloft, so you definitely want to layer up. The one, I guess you'd say downside, aside from this, is that being that this is so snug, if you're going to layer up, you can't put a lot of layers under this. I don't feel like I carry a down jacket or an extra base layer, or not base layer, but a mid layer. And so I have to take this out, put this on first, and then put my down jacket on, and then the rain jacket over the waterproof layer over top of all that. So it does make it a little bit different. The other thing that I notice is that when I have this tied into the main jacket, is that when I go to get out of these, and that's where I think this problem came from, is I've really got to dig down in there to get a hold of it, because it's got the it's kind of a rubber around the wrist. You can bypass it, but it does make it a little bit more difficult to get out. So I found it's easier just to have this separate, don't even have it tied in, and that way I can be wearing this. If it gets rainy or nasty, then I just pull that waterproof layer out, throw it on, and I'm pretty well good to go. So we're gonna keep testing this thing. But before we get out of here, I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. with that jacket. You got the cuff here. You get that rubber that goes over your wrist. I'm assuming it's designed to help keep water out. So here you can see where I'm sliding it through, because this thing does get annoying sometimes. If you're sitting on there, it does help hold in the heat, but when you go to take it off, you can't grab right here on your regular cuff. Now you've got to go in, grab that, otherwise it's trying to pull out. And it feels like the more I use this thing and stretch them out a little bit, the easier it is to get them out. But man, when I first got it, that was just a real pain. They were snug and wrist didn't want to come out. I feel on this side, I feel like I'm almost going to pull the lining right out of the coat. But with the way this thing is built, if you're hiking in this material in here really holds in the heat and the sweat. Like we were hiking the other day, we had some elk that we were going after, and I was hiking pretty hard, and I left that outer layer on because it was windy. And when we got up, I had this on and that. This was all soaked right down through my armpits, across the bottom of my chest, all wet. And I looked on the inside of that, and you could just see the sweat all around the seams on that thing. And I've got a little bit of video I'm going to throw in here in a second so you can see that. But just keep that in mind when you're hiking. If it's not raining and if you're doing a lot of perspiring, take that layer off. Get that waterproof layer off of you, because it's just going to soak inside and it's going to hold that moisture. You're better off going without it unless it's really raining hard or snowing hard, and then you might need to kind of cut back on your activity level so you're not breaking a heavy sweat. We did 1,700 vertical feet that day in about 2 hours, maybe 2.25. So we were really sweating. I wish I would have taken it off, but we just wanted to get up there. So check out this. I stepped out for a little late season doe hunt back here in Michigan, right smack in the middle of the December 2022 blizzard that we're getting just before Christmas. And so far this Nomad and waders jacket's been holding up pretty good. It's about 20 degrees right now. We've had snow blowing. I went out sledding with my nieces and my niece and nephews earlier today in it, and it cuts the wind, so we don't have any rain right now, but it does seem to be pretty good at cutting any kind of precipitation that comes down. One thing you really got to keep in mind with this thing is it keeps the water out, but it also keeps the moisture in. If you're sweating, this thing does not let it escape. So you've got to layer down if you're going to be doing any kind of hiking with this thing on. It's great when you're sitting because it cuts the wind, it cuts the rain, snow, sleet, whatever you got coming down on you. But it doesn't do much if you're already wet. It's not going to let you dry out at all. So if you're hiking and it's not pouring rain, if you just got a light sprinkle, maybe just leave the thing off and hike until you get up to a spot, and you can strip off that wet layer, put on some dry stuff, and then put this one on over top, and then you're going to stay nice and dry and you're going to stay warm. But other than that, I don't think there's much else to say. Hopefully this helps y'all out. One thing I did mention, I can't remember if I mentioned earlier, but right up here, that's a little bit heavier duty material. If you've got a backpack on it goes all the way across the back, and then right down here in the armpit, you can see that material right there. I noticed that just the other day. It's I think it's a quieter material, so that when you're moving your arms back and forth, it's it doesn't make as much noise, because this outer layer isn't the quietest stuff in the world. A few things to keep in mind. So hope this helps you out, and happy hunting. Well, we finally got a little bit of rain to test this thing out in. It's not exactly a downpour. You can see in the puddles. It's a sprinkle. But if you stand outside and this kind of stuff long enough, you will get wet. There's a little bit of a breeze blowing. Kind of heightens things a little bit. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope it helps you out. See you later.